Gracias, Rosa, por esta increíble presentación. Bueno, me llamo María José Ramírez y como nos ha dicho Rosa, yo trabajo aquí en Albuquerque en la Oficina de Educación de la Embajada de España. Sobre todo nos dedicamos a programas educativos y apoyar el bilingüismo y el multiculturalismo. Pero la gran protagonista hoy es Norma Luján Quiñones y para mí es un lujo y un privilegio estar aquí presentándola. Yo simplemente pues quería saludarles, darles las gracias por venir y contarles un poquito de mi historia como profesora, como docente, porque yo ahora estoy aquí en Albuquerque ayudando a profesores españoles, pero toda mi vida yo he sido docente durante más de 20 años en España, en centros de educación en middle school y high school. Y la música siempre ha sido un elemento muy importante de mi vida y también de mis clases y de mis estudiantes. De hecho, yo estoy aquí hoy gracias a la música, gracias a que cuando yo era pequeña, en el colegio, en el instituto, tenía profesores de inglés que me ponían canciones maravillosas de los Beatles, de Elvis, de la música americana, y yo me enamoré de la música, me enamoré de la cultura y quise aprender inglés. Y eso es algo muy importante cuando enseñamos, saber que cuando un estudiante se enamora de la cultura y se emociona, es mucho más fácil llegar a él. Y yo me enamoré de la cultura americana, de la música, y aquí estoy hoy. Simplemente para introducir el trabajo de nuestra ponente Norma, aquí les ofrezco la definición de lo que es el baile. Baile, que viene del bailar, ejecutar movimientos con el cuerpo, los brazos y los pies. Y eso es lo que vamos a hacer hoy, porque todos vamos a bailar. Hasta yo, que soy un pato mareado, voy a bailar. Música. Fíjense en la definición de música. Melodía, ritmo y armonía combinados. 2. Sucesión de sonidos modulados para recrear el oído. Instrumentos, voces y, fíjense la 4, arte de combinar los sonidos de la voz humana o de los instrumentos, de suerte que produzcan un deleite, conmoviendo la sensibilidad, ya sea alegre o triste. Trabajamos con música, trabajamos con baile, eso significa que trabajamos con los sentimientos y con las emociones. Y eso es muy importante para el profesor y sobre todo para nuestros estudiantes.
Again, my name is Norma Quiñones, and like she said, I'm the dance teacher at Dolores Gonzalez. And I 15 years in the dual language program, teaching first grade. I loved it, but I love my job right now too, because I get to work with everybody. I get to work with pre-K all the way to 5th grade. And welcome our pre-K teacher, Sandra Morales. So yes, I'd like to begin by sharing this quote with you. It's just very inspirational to me. And I always start, I have this poster up in my classroom because I want the kids to be able to look at it, read it. We read it sometimes when we start our day. It says, they say to dance, let me introduce the person first. His name is Christian Parrish, and he is from the Crow Agency in Montana. He is a rapper and dancer. And what he says is, they say to dance like nobody is watching. I think that implies that we are afraid or ashamed to dance in front of the people. Every time I read this, I get a lump in my throat because it's so inspirational. I say dance like everybody is watching. Dance like your children are watching, your ancestors, your family. Dance for those who are hurting, those who can't dance, those who lost loved ones, and those who suffer injustices throughout the world. It's such a beautiful, beautiful quote. So as many of us are aware of the benefit, there's so many benefits of dance. But as you read through this list of benefits, you will see the connection between dancing and the benefits in the classroom, right? So self-motivation, we want kids to be motivated to work and be present in the classroom, right? Reduces stress and anxiety, Some kids come to school stressed, they come with whatever they had, maybe stressed the night before, right? It teaches time management. It teaches focus, organization, and planning. So when we teach general education through Latin dance, we're integrating movement, we're integrating rhythm, we're integrating social emotional growth. Kids retain content better when they learn, when they're moving, right? Dances like salsa, merengue, and bachata can be used to teach math, history, and language arts, okay? In math, they identify patterns and shapes formed by their bodies, okay? Through history and culture, they learn history and culture by studying the origins of Latin dances that are from Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, and they also learn the map of Latin America and Spain, the geographical map. Through language and literacy, language skills are developed, and they're able to conduct research. They learn how to conduct research. And of course, in PE, that kinesthetic awareness, the fundamentals of motion and overall physical health. Another type of dance that I worked with my little second graders is tango. And when kids dance tango, they develop communication and social skills, right? They have to listen to each other and follow each other without words. They understand weight distribution with regards to science and math, balance, momentum, and center of gravity and force. Tango is not an easy dance. It's very, very difficult. With regards to cultural history and social studies, tango is taught as a cultural expression with roots in specific social content, such as immigration, the golden age of Buenos Aires, and the blending of cultures. With regards to math, tango is taught in a 4/4 rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So students learn how to count and recognize patterns and interpret musical structure. And they're forced to partner with each other. And interact with each other. So last year we realized that most of our students didn't really know the geography of New Mexico. So we created a play about it. And through this play, they learned the layout of New Mexico, traditions and cultural history of New Mexico, songs about New Mexico. They collaborated, they built relationships, all of this, active listening, critical thinking, motivation. They supported each other. They shared with each other. They self-reflected. So this particular play or musical, we took the idea of the Wizard of Oz, and we called it the Wizard of Roz because we, of course, Roswell, right? and the synopsis of the story is Dolores, not Dorothy, gets swept up by a dust storm, not a tornado, because we have dust devils here, right? She got swept up to Taos, and she had to follow the Rio Grande to get back to Las Cruces, which was her home. But on the way, she had some stops. So she stopped her first stop was Santa Fe, where she met the tinsman, not the tin man, right? In Santa Fe, we see lots of art and crafts and artists that make tin. So she met a tinsman there, okay? She followed the Rio Grande further and arrived to Albuquerque. And in Albuquerque, she went to a Lobo game. She met a Lobo instead of a lion because we have Lobos, right? Then she moves on to Hatch, New Mexico. And instead of meeting a scarecrow without a brain, she meets a very intelligent chili farmer. And then she finally makes it home. But we took that story and with the help of the kids, it was a collaboration not only between the teachers, but the kids also had a chance to create the stories. The kids danced, they sang, and each grade level got to do some part of the storytelling, whether it was through dance, singing, and a little bit of acting. So the arts and content connection assessment can be made through observations, self-evaluations, anecdotal records, and rubrics, okay? But the performance assessment, it's showing you rather than telling you, right? So show me 3 o'clock with your body, right? Show me with your partner, show me a triangle shape. Okay, show me a circle, show me, so that's the kind of assessment you would do with performance, right? So these are I just listed some steps that you can take to get started on something like this. First off, ask your staff. Ask your staff, do you sing? Do you dance? We found out recently that one of our new teachers has a background in theater. Use those people, get them to come and share their knowledge with the kids. Reach out to your community. Reach out to your community, what's close to your school. Doesn't have to be close to your school, but a lot of people that are outside of the school, if it's for kids, if it's for your school, they will say yes. And now, I hope you brought your dancing shoes because we're going to dance, okay? And so, like I said, we're going to learn Danza de Apaches de Colima, okay? And this dance is a traditional dance that it represents warriors, okay? They wear bright orange colors. There was a picture back there of the costume laid out on the floor. The headpiece represents the rising of the sun. And it highlights indigenous strength. So we're gonna learn it. The steps are simple. The biggest part of this dance is the way, the movement that we make throughout the stage, okay? So, everybody stand up if you're ready. Vamos a bailar.